Oh yeah. Hello. I'm Sahara Drac of Storm Legacy, and I'm going to talk to you all about this newest balance patch. Figured we'd just go over it bit by bit. You know, someone wanted to hear me talk about a patch today, and I couldn't stream today, so I figured I'd make a quick video. So this patch does have the Echoes of Alterac pre-balance stuff. This stuff is on the PTR, but it's also available here now. So um, first thing is they changed something from the design school. Armor. Baseline armor has been removed from a number of heroes. Please see the specific changes to individuals below. Basically, this is a change to increase the clearness of the game for people who maybe don't know what's going on. Having heroes with a passive number of armor, a lot of people don't realize that when they're fighting them, and this they're just moving basically that armor into talents and making it more visible and obvious. So that's all that really is. From the structures, they basically redistributed some experience. Fort tower experience reduced from 50, so half of the towers, but then they added 250 to the forts and the keeps. All that does is basically make the game a little more, the early game a little more even. A lot of times a team could get a kill, take down a wall, and have a huge lead, really early in the game, which makes it, the game's really maybe below that 20-minute sweet spot they like, and also too snowbally, so that's what that's about. So Towers of Doom forts upgrade to keeps when the tunnels open, approximately 12 minutes. A lot of people don't know that, but the forts on Towers of Doom do become keeps, all of them, and have the according power and experience. So going down to some hero changes. Cassia, they increased the health. They increased the health regeneration. They increased the health and reduced the regeneration. And then physical armor while moving, unmounted, decreased from 65 to 40. So that's kind of a hit for sure. She does have definitely a fat chunk of health to help that out. Might end up being better for her in that she's more survivable in general rather than just against physical. That's a big knock to her trait, but the health is there for the magic damage to take more magic damage. So this actually is kind of more might end up being more of an overall buff, or not necessarily a buff. Not everything has to be in the terms of buff or nerf. This changes Cassia and maybe makes her less specialized, so you can play her in more situations, which is probably a good thing. So Phoenix, his unit radius was reduced, smaller, harder to hit. Definitely a big help for him. Genji, cooldown on his jump increased, and then the agile dismount they buffed a little bit to make people take it. Not much there to say. Kael'thas also reduced his fat cape. He's had the fat cape for like 4 years now. It's kind of I'm glad they finally got around to that. Maiev, so they nerfed Maiev. Cooldown increased on her W. Cooldown increased on her E. The damage increased on the E. However, it does not deal bonus damage to heroes. Instead, if Spirit of Vengeance hits an enemy hero, its cooldown is reduced by 4 seconds. So this allows her to be more aggressive with her E. She can E into teams with having a more reliable means of escape. However, the overall cooldown's higher and does do more damage, but doesn't do bonus damage to heroes, which was kind of it chunked them a little bit. So we'll see how this change works. I think it'll be much more rewarding for good Maiev players. So Michael Udall on the ladder there, spamming that Maiev, probably will be a good thing for him. They did reduce the area of effect, however, on Q. That's just for Blade Dance. Never mind. I was like, wait, they made the Q smaller. That's a huge nerf, but no, they did not. So, all right, Lunara. Lunara was maybe a little overtuned with the rework. I think most people felt that way. So the bonus damage from her level 4 talent reduced 25%. Choking Pollen, bonus damage against enemies who have 1 stack increased, and then bonus damage against enemies who have 3 stacks increased again. That's just, they want people to try that talent. So that's all that is. But the just slight little knocks to Lunara's numbers there. Varian, his health was increased a pretty good amount, and his regeneration increased, so that's cool. The reason they did that is because Taunt, passive armor bonus removed. Passive maximum health bonus increased from 25 to 30%. So that's that thing they said at the beginning of the patch. We're removing passive armor bonuses. Like I'm sure a lot of people, and even myself, probably forget sometimes that when Varian gets taunt, he has perma armor. So yeah, he's just a little more healthy in general now. Zagara. So these are some interesting changes. Looks like they are trying to, with the recent Sylvanas changes and now these Zagara changes, get rid of the brain dead split push playstyle. The Palettas, the Glogans of the world, gonna have to learn to team fight. The creep tumor health reduced. The health scaling, however, increased. Hunter killer decreased in health. Scaling, however, increased. Damage increased. Movement speed increased. So that's big. The movement speed on the hunter killer is actually a really big deal in both lane and team fight situations. So. Infested drop, it's all the scalings moved up, same thing. They increased the damage on Devouring Maw a little bit, make her team fight, make that spell a little bit more impactful, and then nerfed Nidus, and increased the scaling. So maybe not nerfed, but made her. They increased her scaling. So the thing with Zagara was she was all throughout the game she had one job, and that's to kill buildings. Now with the scaling, she can actually kill people. Maybe in the late game in a team fight, we will see. She might be OP. Who knows? Corpse feeders damage reduction from non-heroic sources increased. So that's actually interesting that they did that. Given what they said with trying to make her more fight oriented, because that's straight up a split push talent that they buffed. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a weird one there. Brute expansion cooldown reduction increased, made that a little better, and it made hunter killer cost a little less mana. Corrosive saliva damage increased for 2 to 2.5% of the hero's maximum health. That's pretty good, especially with certain talents you can take with her, namely at level 4. That's a lot of damage on a tank that she can do if she wants with that. So, because she attacks pretty fast. So we will see what's going on with Zagara. Ariel, her health was reduced, her regeneration was reduced, and Sacred Sweep's damage was moved towards the center. A little bit more rewarding for perfect play, and a little easier to kill. She was a little strong since she gets so much energy from herself now that, probably not a bad idea. Whoops, sorry, didn't mean to blow up your microphone there. Brightwing, heal amount increased. Again, I have seen this Soothing Mist numbers change throughout the life of this game so many times. And it's always little bits. They just can't get that sweet spot. So Blink Heal also increased a hair. I don't think this is going to be enough, but we'll see. Who knows? Stukov, amount healed from his bio kill switch after detonating increased a little bit. So 15 more on his trait, and his Q healing per tick increased. So they gave him a little bit of a nudge up, which is interesting considering he's very favored in the meta on a lot of maps right now. So we'll see. Anubarak, they removed the base spell armor. Again, they're taking that out. They gave him health and regen to make up for it. Reduced the mana cost of W, and then put that spell armor on his W all the time. Every time he hits W, he gets 40 spell armor. This change is going to make Anubarak, I think, a very worthy consideration. Again, that's for good players who hold their W until the right moment. That's going to make him very, very tanky in a lot of situations. So he already has a lot of strengths going for him. So we'll see if he makes his way back. Arthas, base physical armor removed. Yes, health increased, health regen increased. Rhyme physical armor increased on Rhyme. So that's pretty good too. Diablo. Now this one was wild. This one made me call my grandma up at Blue Water Lake and be like, "Grandma, what the heck happened to Diablo?" And she couldn't hear me. But Diablo's was this. I feel like all these changes were a little early. Maybe pulled the trigger a little quick on this. Now, obviously, I don't have Blizzard's internal numbers. They do. However, I think people finally found the build in general for Diablo, and he doesn't one-shot a tank anymore, but he's still very, very, very good. Played a lot in Grandmaster, and I think we'll be seeing him at Midseason Brawl. So these changes are, I don't know, it's a little scary. We might have Diablo banned every game for a while. So health increased, health regen increased, basic attack speed increased. holy Fire Stomp healing increased 5%. That's crazy, given the talents he has. Feast on Fear healing increased a tiny bit, 1/4%, but still increased. Duration reduced, so he heals more in less time from Feast on Fear, even though Feast on Fear was like a crazy OP talent. Well, no, I'm sorry, not a crazy OP talent. A very good talent. Devil's Due is buffed. Now, I never thought I'd see the day where they buffed Devil's Due, but here you have it. Soul Shield, an active. I don't think anyone takes that, but the cooldown was reduced quite a bit. Level 4, Sacrificial Soul increased. Armor increased. Armor granted after gathering increased. I don't think many people were taking that talent, so that one's fine. Souls to the Flame, however, healing increased again. So he gets more healing from Feast on Fear and more healing from Souls to the Flame. And Devastating Charge. The bonus reduced on the damage a bit. The quest damage bonus increased, however, and then the maximum quest damage increased again. So overall, a lot more damage from Devastating Charge. These are crazy buffs to Diablo. I'm a big Diablo fan. I play a lot of Diablo. I always have, and these give me pause. I think this is too much, but we will find out. Garrosh, one of my other favorite heroes, maybe my favorite hero right now. Cooldown on Q increased a second. That's, definitely not great. Wrecking Ball cooldown increased from 12 to 14, so they increased his cooldowns pretty significantly. And then Mortal Combo gives you the cooldown reduction increased from 7 to 9 seconds. So if you take Mortal Kombat, why can't I talk? If you take Mortal Combo, you'll get those 2 seconds back that they nerfed on Wrecking Ball. No one takes Mortal Combo. I think it's pretty good, actually. We'll see if maybe that instigates some little deviation in the talents there. Overall, I would say Garrosh is still okay. He's still going to be very playable. He's just not quite where he was. Johanna, the physical armor removed, yes. Health increased. Health regeneration increased, yes. And her level 1 armor bonus increased to 25. So they put that armor in her level 1 talent. If you want armor Johanna, that's what you get now. So yeah, that was the patch that happened yesterday, and I just wanted to give some insight and thoughts from someone who's played a little bit of Heroes of the Storm. You guys can check out our draft analysis show on Thursdays, Nexus Draft House, and we have an exciting new show called Lornado coming out very soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I am Sahara Drac. Thanks for hanging out, watching this video. Talk to you later.